sorry.
No, I'm asking. No, okay, what would it be?
No, maybe prison.
Okay, let's say
not even prison.
That's fine. That's fine. Let's say that rapist goes to prison. He serves his term. What is it? 2 years? 3 years?
No, they don't serve 2 years.
I don't know which country you're talking about. In this country, even 2 years? No. Which country are you talking about?
I don't know. All countries.
No, you haven't seen the law of this country. Forget about all countries. In this country, they can come out of prison within 2-3 years. Yes, if they are on good behavior. Unless he commits the same crime again. Then what?
25 years.
25. Or you'll just increase the number. No, but in this country, the punishment cannot exceed more than a couple of years.
That's weird. That's the first time I hear about it.
Okay, well, that's the first time maybe you know the law of this country. So what I'm saying is this. A repeat offender, what would you do to that?
Yeah, but not death.
Okay, so for you that penalty is always wrong.
No.
Doesn't matter why.
Wrong, yeah.
It's always wrong. Even if he murders.
Yeah.
So even for a murderer, that penalty is wrong. You know what?
Yeah.
Trust me, anyone in your family gets murdered?
Hopefully not.
No, I said if.
Yeah.
You'll make a complete U-turn. Because only the family can know the suffering.
I know.
Yes? So do not.
Just so we can get.
Do not say that this is the death penalty is always wrong, because many times this has happened in this country and elsewhere in Europe and in America. There are repeat offenders, the same one. Yes,
Yeah, but
repeat offenders time and time again.
About this guy who was in Norway and he killed so many people in there and didn't kill him.
No, because in this country the death penalty has been abolished.
Yeah, even in Denmark it's abolished, and they were talking about to the father of that child.
But that doesn't make it right.
He said I don't want him to be dead.
Imagine this.
Maybe.
Imagine this.
Maybe
on one hand you have a repeat offender.
Yeah.
Yes, who might be a rapist or a murderer. On the other hand, you have the victims. Yes, who should suffer?
Of course, the offender.
The offender. But in your scenario, who suffers? In a scenario where wait, it's not always 25 years. No, it's not always 25 years. Trust me. Even though they might get a life sentence based on the good behavior, they are released. And this is a common knowledge in all of these European countries and in America.
I think that's true.
Well, it's not what you think or what I think. It is what the law says. Okay? So if someone is able to just go to prison and then come out and repeat, and go to prison, come out and repeat, and many times they don't get caught because they know the system.
Yeah.
They know that if I'm going to rape this girl or this woman, I'll be out of prison within a couple of years. There you go. So for you to be on the side of the victim would be more reasonable than to be on the side of the offender.
On the side of the truth. And the side
well,
of the justice.
there's no truth in saying that a repeat offender doesn't deserve that penalty.
And the justice, and that's it. I just don't believe
look.
Yeah.
The truth you're saying and the justice you're saying is subjective.
Yeah.
Because one country's death penalty. For example, in America, for treason you get the electric chair.
Yeah.
Yes? Treason. You get the electric chair.
Yeah.
One of the worst ways to die is by an electric chair.
Yeah, it is.
You know that?
Yeah.
It's horrendous.
Some states.
Yes.
Not all of them.
And also, there are people that have been who haven't been mentally right,
Yeah.
who might be mentally challenged. They got the electric chair.
I think
In Islam, such a person wouldn't be held accountable because he doesn't have the right cognition, not right, mental ability and mental status to be able to discern whether what he's doing is right or wrong.
Maturity, yeah.
Not even maturity, the ability of cognition, because he might be an old man, he might be a mature person, but because of his
Inability to.
being mentally challenged, this is not something that he's doing it out maybe intentionally. Yes, he might be facing some disease, like schizophrenia or something.
Yeah, so we should not kill him. That's what I'm saying.
No, I'm saying in that case,
Yeah, that's
Islam,
what I'm saying.
and
Just one point.
Yeah, sure.
Point. Even someone who commits rape. Sometimes, for me, someone who commits rape is not mentally healthy.
For you?
For me.
How many rapists have you interviewed?
I didn't interview anyone.
So what do you mean for me? Have you studied the law?
Of course not. Who does that?
No, but when you say for me, that they're not mentally right, you made a judgment here.
Yeah.
Based on what? Neither experience nor knowledge.
Yeah.
So it's just your opinion, my friend.
Of course. Yeah, I'm just talking about my opinion.
It's not the opinions that matter.
I'm talking about an opinion.
My friend, these are serious matters. where you can't just use your, what do you say, your feelings
not
and your opinion.
Healthy,
no, you can't say. How do you know they're not mentally healthy?
We're not going to be the judge of that. I'm not going to be.
You know what? You know what is the main?
Get a psychologist.
Do you know why they rape? You know, from the psychologist, the main reason.
If he commits rape and he's in a healthy mind and commits rape,
my friend, like I said, it's your opinion. You haven't studied the topic. You haven't experienced. No. It's not logical. Ask the psychologists. The psychologists say the main reason that they rape is, one, they look at the chance if they can get away. Secondly, they look at the ability to overpower someone who's weaker.
Yeah.
Yes. By the way, when I say rape, it doesn't mean only women and girls. It also means men. So if you go to the prisons, yes, there are lots of men getting raped.
Yeah.
Why? Because the one who's raping is stronger than the one who is being raped. Now this is within the system. So you putting them in the prison doesn't really solve the problem of them being a rapist. Wait, I'm giving you, okay? And by the way, do you know in Islam when somebody murders, they are not only, the punishment is not just death penalty. That is one of the punishments. And guess what? Who decides this? Neither the judge nor the jury. It is the victim's family who decides. So one of the options is what? Death penalty. Yes? The second option, you should know it. What is the other options?
Prison.
No.
Yeah.
Blood money.
Yeah, you can buy.
Yes?
Yeah.
And the third option is, you know what? Forgiveness.
Good.
There you go. Like I said, it is up to the victim's family, because they are the ones who understands the pain more than anyone else. So it's not left up to the jury, who don't know this person who's a victim, neither do they know the person who's the perpetrator. Islam has always and always will be, the true Islam will always be fair and just, inshallah. And this is something which is from the Rabb, you know. Are you a Muslim, by the way?
Yeah.
You are a Muslim?
Let's say so, because the cameras are on.
Say it? Oh,
say so.
So in front of the cameras you say you're a Muslim? At least you're, anyway. I mean, it doesn't matter if you say. There are not many non-Muslims I speak to.
Yeah.
And they have the same contentions. Yes? Because this is something comes from emotions mostly. Because many of these people, they haven't actually studied the Sharia, neither they have studied the ruling of the Sharia. Because these hard punishments, yes, of killing, and they think that is Sharia. No, that is only a fraction of Sharia. The majority of the Sharia that you talk about is about...
What about stoning gays?
Stoning gays?
Yeah.
What about them?
Is it wrong, or what do you think about it?
Look here, at the end of the day, whether it is gay or whether it is someone who is not married and fornicating, adultery, married and then, yes, the punishment is not only for the gays. The same punishment of death penalty applies.
Do you agree with that?
Wait, I'm coming to that. Okay, whether it is a death penalty for someone who is heterosexual or homosexual, you know what is the punishment?
Yeah.
It is for something which they have done as an obscenity in public, which means you need 4 witnesses. Not only witnessing what is happening, but witnessing the actual act and the detail of it.
Doesn't mean it's in public.
Wait.
Yeah.
What does 4 witness mean?
Yeah, but it's not.
Not in bedroom, is it?
Yeah.
It's not in bedroom. It's not in bedroom.
Yeah.
Because you wouldn't have sex with, doesn't matter whom you have, with 4 witnesses there, would you?
No, of course not.
Well, I think some do, but I hope you're not. So there are sick people out there, trust me, who do this, unfortunately.
There's nothing sick about it.
Well, I think it is sick if you're going to show it to other people, having sex with whomever you love.
Yeah,
okay? But anyway, you see, this is the obscenity. But even in this country, do you think they should be allowed?
Yeah, it should be allowed.
What? To have sex in public?
No, not in public.
Why not?
But in front of 4 of your chosen people. Or
chosen people.
If you want them to watch you, if you want to be watched and they agree to it.
You know, I thought there were other people who would be thinking like this. It turns out you're...
No, you're not harming anyone. I'm just getting to the point.
Oh, wait a minute.
You are not harming anyone.
So let me ask you this.
Yeah.
When you say not harming anyone, okay, what does that mean?
I'm not harming anyone by doing it.
Can you, if you're not harming anyone, can you have sex with anyone?
Of course.
Okay, can you have sex with your father? You both agree? Can you?
Yeah, but he wouldn't agree.
No, if
I want to.
I said,
he wants to.
Let's say you both agree. You both consent to the pleasure of having homosexual.
We're getting away from it. We're getting away from it.
No, we are not. We are not.
No, we were talking about the death penalty.
My friend,
by stoning.
My friend, listen,
to gay people who do.
Yeah, but we have to see. Look at the underlying. We have to look at the underlying principle.
Even then they go to you.
Habibi, you have to look at the underlying principle.
No.
You said as long as you're not harming someone. Wait a minute. As long soon as you,
from it.
no, I know.
I'm just saying.
I know you don't like this example. I'll tell you what. I'll use somebody else. Okay, I won't use you as an example. Let's see an adult. Habibi, I haven't finished my point.
Yeah.
Let me make the point, and then you tell me.
We're going away from.
No, we are not. The underlying. The underlying principle is very important. Okay, why Allah has ordained a punishment of death penalty on such a behavior?
Not in public.
Hold on.
If you do it.
Let me finish. Remember, I told you, in private, if they do it, and it's consensual sex, yes, with the same sex, and it's incest with your father or with your mother. I'm not talking about you now. Look, I'm not talking about you. Okay, so don't take this person. I'm talking about somebody else now. This person wants to have free love, yes, free sex with whomever he wants. That is his opinion, just like you have opinion. He has an opinion. Should we respect that opinion? Of course not.
All opinions should be respected.
Okay, so you would agree to an incest?
No, I wouldn't agree, but I would respect his opinion.
Okay,
that's an opinion.
And there is no harm in it.
If they don't harm anyone, they can do whatever they want.
Okay, so you would live in a society where there was incest without any problem?
Yeah.
A son sleeping with his father, you'd be fine with that?
No, we were not talking about that example.
Okay.
We're not talking about it.
And by the way,
but we're not talking about that. Look, we're coming back to my point.
Yes.
Just in the head in Islam.
Yes. Another thing?
Is it rightful? Is it rightful?
It is right. Look.
It is rightful to kill gay people because they are gay.
Why are you saying gay people only? I told you it's for both. Even
I'm talking about the gay people.
Why you want to narrow it down to the gay people only?
Yeah,
Allah gave the hard punishment for both heterosexuals who commit adultery.
Okay,
it's the same.
Let's say that.
So what is the main underlying principle? It is the obscenity of it. That if you do something in front of this at least 4 witnesses, and you're...
So if you don't...
Can I finish?
Yeah,
if you ask the question, let me finish.
You already said that.
Okay, if you don't want me to finish, why asking? Let me finish, and then make your point. At least let me make the point. If this is the condition met, and by the way, it is in a country where there is Sharia. So not in Britain, or in Europe, or wherever there is no Sharia. So in a country where you're actually living, first and foremost, remember the citizens, or the people who live in that country, they have to abide by the law of the country. Do you agree?
Yeah.
Okay, so if it is a law of the country, like in America, yes, they get a chair, the electric chair, even to a person who's mentally challenged, or even a person who is maybe underage even, or even a person who has been, who's committed the crime and has been found guilty of that. Yes, just for treason. You might not agree with it, but that is the law of America. Who are you to say anything? Similarly, in Islam, wait. In Islam, we follow the Sharia. In a country, no, because
you're the only one talking.
Because I'm giving you the answer to your question.
No, you're getting away from it. Now we're talking about.
I'm coming to the answer.
We're not.
I'm giving you all round that countries have different laws. Okay. Now wait. The point I'm raising.
In like 35 minutes.
You should have sabr. Inna Allah ma sabirin.
You should have sabr, not me. If there is two gay people,
yes, again he likes the gays,
and they go to the justice and say we are gay, we had gay relationships.
In which country?
In which country? In Islamic countries.
Okay, good.
And they go, we had a relationship in our own bed without the 4 people.
Why would they go to the judge if it's private?
Let's say that. Let's say that.
Okay.
And they go there. We had a private relationship in our own bedroom. What's our punishment?
Okay.
What would be the punishment?
Hold on. First and foremost, if you're living in an Islamic country, you know any country you live in, would you not make it a point to know the law?
Of course.
You would. Yeah. So these gay people would know the law, right?
Yeah.
So why would they go and ask the judge then?
Yeah.
Does it make sense?
If they do, what would
okay. So if they admit to the guilt of what they have done, then what is the punishment in Sharia? For example, I think now it is beheading. I don't think they do stoning anymore. They do beheading in Saudi Arabia. Okay. So anyone, listen to this. Anyone who commits murder, anyone who has unlawful sex and they're caught for it, adultery especially, I think anyone who is, and that includes the gays, homosexual and heterosexual, anyone who brings cocaine or any other hard drugs, okay, all of them get the death penalty.
So they get the
Wait a minute. You go to Singapore, you take drugs, you get the death penalty. So it's not only Islamic countries. Okay. Now in America you get death penalty for treason. So I've given you Islamic countries, I've given you non-Islamic countries, I've given you the law of the countries. Now who are you, mister, to come and tell them what they should do?
We're not talking about countries because that's not the God's word. We're talking about Islam, which is the God's word.
Hello, what is Sharia? What is Sharia?
We can criticize.
Sharia has to be implemented in a country,
we can criticize
not in the sky somewhere.
You can criticize the US as much as you want. You can criticize Singapore as much as you want. But you can't criticize the Islam.
Why are you saying we're not talking about a country?
Huh?
The country is the most important thing in this
discussion. We're talking about the Sharia, which is
of course.
God's word.
Okay, is the Sharia followed in Britain?
No.
So would it apply here?
No.
So this is the country we're talking about.
No, we're talking about Islam. What Islam does.
Islam is not a country. I agree.
I know.
But the Sharia is implemented in the country.
But it's a justice system, isn't it?
Yes, where?
Where? In the Islamic country, we're not.
Thank you. That's what I'm telling him.
No, we're talking about the ideology of Islam.
Listen to yourself.
If it's applied,
listen to yourself.
If it is applied or not, that's not our problem. We're talking about the Islam, what it says. Stoning.
Oh, you think stoning is wrong?
Yeah, it is
okay.
wrong. That's what I'm saying.
First and foremost, you're not a Muslim.
That's not
Wait, first and foremost, you're not a Muslim.
Yeah.
You already admitted to that. Secondly, you're not in a Muslim country. So if you don't have any jurisdiction to tell what the Muslims should do, or in which country they should do it, then again it's your opinion, my friend.
Yeah.
Look, I respect your opinion that you consider this punishment, i.e. the death penalty in America wrong, the death penalty in Singapore wrong, the death penalty in Saudi Arabia wrong. You're entitled to your opinion. Alhamdulillah, leave it there. Don't blame Islam for that. Because Islam is a religion which is not only about worshipping, but it is an encompassing way of life which includes politics, economics, your social life, my social life, your educational life, everything. Islam is not something that you think is just like a political system. No. Islam encompasses your entire way of life from the day you were born to the day you go to the grave.
And there is there is good sides to it, and there's bad sides.
Well, again, that's your opinion.
Gay people.
That's your opinion, my friend.
What are you trying to say? That's your opinion, brother.
That's your opinion.
Is that your opinion?
Yeah,
do you understand that? Okay.
By the way, it was also your opinion.
What's that got to do with following the law of God? See, look, a minute ago, your opinion changed. When he asked you about incest between a father and son, you felt very uncomfortable. You said, we can't talk about this. Can we change something? We don't have a problem with that, but that's your opinion. It is.
Just like,
come alongside, I'm perfectly comfortable.
you know, just like you felt uncomfortable, and I think you felt offended, and I didn't mean to offend you. I don't mean to offend you. Okay, I wanted to give an example where people feel uncomfortable and which is immoral, but to many other people it's perfectly legit.
Yeah.
Yes? So you see, Islam doesn't work like that. In Islam, the law is from Allah, and Allah is our creator. He knows what is good for you and me and the community and the whole world. Okay? You see, opinions can change tomorrow. Opinions are neither here nor there. Like I said to you, today incest is something that is forbidden in this country. You know, who knows, in a few years it'll be perfectly legit.
Yeah,
yes?
who knows?
And then trust me, you will not be as offended because now you have been oriented by what is happening around you. Like just the way you think it's perfectly normal for a gay person to have sex, yes?
Yeah.
Perfect, no?
It's perfectly
It's perfectly alright. Trust me, 50 years from today, you wouldn't be saying the same.
Perhaps.
Why? Yeah. Why? Because there was a death penalty here for the same crime. Yes?
I know.
So just for 50 years.
Beauty of it, because it's evaluated.
How is it a beauty?
It is, because it
Next year, okay. Next you'll be saying incest is a beauty.
But because no, we're not talking about.
See what I mean?
We're talking about gay
See what I
people.
mean? He still didn't get the point, did he?
No, about the gay people. Now we understand that it's natural. Science says that.
Science says?
Yeah, it does.
You believe in science?
I do.
What is science?
Evolution?
No.
I do.
Wait.
I do.
No, bro, come on.
Of course I do.
Listen. You believe in science or scientism?
No, I believe in science. What's facts?
Okay, so how do you know something is fact in science?
When there is evidence to it.
Okay, has science ever changed something that was?
Of course it does change.
Wait a minute. So how can I believe science when it's susceptible to changes? How do I know something is a fact? Because today, listen. Today, what you have evidence and consider to be factual by science, tomorrow they can find another evidence to completely negate that, and then you say no, that was wrong. No, this is a fact.
Of course, in our lives become better and better and better.
No, it's not about no, you missed the point. Yeah. It's not about your life getting better.
Yeah,
I have no problem. By the way, listen, the Muslims were one of the best scientists, so I have no problem with science.
You believe that?
Oh, really? Yeah. So, what do you think? The Muslims were now scientists?
No, they were scientists, as like all
Have you actually studied
Europeans?
Listen. Before the Europeans, when they were in the when they were in the Dark Ages, chasing rats and praying to the bones of their dead since
Okay.
the Muslims were actually conducting surgery with surgical instruments still used in the West today. So don't tell me the Arabs didn't do nothing. Sorry, the Muslims didn't do nothing.
They did.
Yes?
Not only them. All the
Did I say only them?
No. All the
Wait. Did I say only them?
But they are not the greatest.
I said
They are not the
no, don't say. I said one of the greatest.
One of the
So
greatest.
please listen to what I'm saying. Thank you. At least it means one of the greatest. MashaAllah. Go and look up Ibn Haytham. Yes?
Yeah.
And you'll see your
Avicenna. I know.
yes,
I know all.
and you'll see your cameras and your modern gadgets.
They didn't invent him. He only understood something from.
That is how it starts, my friend.
Yeah.
That is how invention starts.
But he didn't invent
No.
the camera.
That is not how it starts.
Yeah, but he didn't
His dark room experiment. Go and look it up.
Yeah, I know the dark room, and we're talking about Qumra. It's called. I know that.
So what does it mean?
only discovered
Are you saying that did not give them any
They only
ideas?
understood the side of how light works. That's it. That's all.
That
he
is
did.
the
But he didn't
that is a
invent
key
the
point.
camera.
That is like saying, oh my God.
No, it's the West who invented
know,
the camera. If he understood
if
that,
you
why didn't
look,
he